And also to get some business out of the way, these boys recently dressed me for the Walk of Fame, and I felt like $1,000,000 in their dress. You are just so talented, and it blew me away to see the scope of what, we used to know your label as a label that did exquisite draping, lots of jerseys. It was really your trademark. And draping, and we turn it right over to Stephen. No. And now, I mean, the myriad directions that you've pushed this vision to is just mind-blowing. I mean, wow. Tell me how easy or not it was to step out of the box the way you have.
Wow. In a way, it's been easy. In a way, it's been very difficult because...
a little bit closer, just right into it.
Yeah. Okay. In a way, it's been very easy and natural in a process because, in fashion, you have to evolve, you have to change. We became known for jerseys, and we loved doing it, but you can't just have a brand built on jersey alone. So
how are you doing for audio, guys? Oh, they really turned me up.
Oh.
Are we okay? You can't hear them? Okay, let me try doing it like this.
Yeah. Oh.
That microphone, I think, might be a little faulty. I'm going to get up close and personal.
You're good at this, right?
Oh yeah, I'm an old pro at the microphones. Okay.
Oh, well,
That's better.
oh, that is much better. Yeah. No, I was just saying that, in a way, it was very easy and it was a very natural process to change and evolve because we started out doing jersey, but you can't just, have a brand built on jersey alone. You have to evolve, you have to change. It's the fashion industry. It's the natural cycle of the industry. So we've moved into wovens and doing more structure and separates. And with this show in particular, it's particularly different for us because we're playing with like shears and shine, and it's much more fun than it's ever been.
I mean, it's like a real a kaleidoscope of the 80s to some degree, too. I mean, I know you don't like to look back too much, but it's always wonderful to see how you take historical inspiration and spin it into something fabulous and new. Why that era?
Well, the whole collection we call it the mishmash of glamour. We were trying to take bits and pieces of things and eras that we grew up in. Not a lot of eras, but enough eras that we can take example of. And there's a bit of 90s. It was a mix of Bowie. There was some Grace Jones. There was Joan Jett. And, it's just fascinating that because we don't really do themes and we just do storyboards. And from there we take bits and pieces and then we made it into this mishmash. Just like we do the music. Everything was just like everything we've ever wanted to do was this kind of collection this season.
But there was such a rock kind of edge to a lot of the pieces too. And I don't know if it's probably a lot of the individuals that are inspiring you, modern day muses, because so many of the girls love your stuff. And I guess you're taking your cues from your clients themselves.
Well, the thing is, I'm going backwards and rewinding. We went to Paris, and this is our second time doing a presentation with live models, and we brought in 8 of Canadian models and girls that we worked with over the past. And as you know, as this show tonight, we use the same girls that we've used before, and we introduce some other ones because we love characters. We're obsessed with characters. We're obsessed with villains and all sorts of different types of women. Oh.
Anything you'd like to add? Paris. You said Paris. The world has to start there. I again, was so honored to be able to be with you when you first met Paris. Now you're becoming quite intimate with Paris. I think you've been there several times and have had a fabulous reaction each time you go. And I know every time we hear about, Greta Constantine's going to Paris, everyone who really lives and breathes Canadian fashion just takes an extra little sigh. It really is like, you're going on behalf of all of us. And I know you've been so embraced by the City of Light. What inspiration do you derive from your jaunts to Paris?
My goodness. Yeah. No, Paris is such a beautiful city. It truly takes your breath away, and I don't think it ever stops taking your breath away. It's incredibly inspiring just to walk the city, walk the streets, look around, and look at all the beautiful people and how they dress. Um, Beyond that, as a designer, as someone who loves fashion, Paris is the Mount Everest of fashion. So for us to be playing in that whole arena of Paris Fashion Week, it seems so surreal.
Risk taking is something that is not foreign to you. I mean, I think you've really just thrown caution to the wind many different times throughout your career and throughout your collaboration, where you just say, go for it in ways that might not make sense initially, but somehow it's paid off for you. What do you think the biggest risks have been that you've taken as creative collaborators?
We've always taken risks. Like, we started our company 10 years ago, and we were told when we started, because it was that recession in 2006, and everyone's saying, it's not the best time to start a collection. But we always remembered what Karl Lagerfeld said about a recession. Recession weeds out the bad, and the good stay on. The good, continue. So we're not so much as risk takers, we just know what we want. And going to Paris was a risk, but we thought to ourselves, if we stay here, we can continue doing what we're doing, but we kind of wanted to play along with the bad boys, and and it seems to work for us, and we recommend it.
Yeah, it's not even so much that we're taking risks. It's just that we're taking more leaps than anything. These are things that you have to do if you want your brand to expand globally, and it just made sense to us.
Obviously, it's also helped feed your soul in many wonderful ways, because besides being a good business move, creatively, what you do just literally and sparkles, as well as emotionally sparkles. You just see what's gone into it, and still happy with each other. Is that right? Still working together in a productive way. Obviously.
It's funny when we are in Paris. That's when we're actually working the most together. Yeah, it's funny, and we get more inspired that way. Like, we have a great team, but at the same time, it's like it's like no other. We also bring Canada with us. It's not just us taking what we have here, but we bring Canada with us, and so many people are interested to know about Canada, because when they hear we're from Canada, made in Canada, they get excited. They get very excited.
That's incredible, and I think that's been a great change in recent, maybe even months almost, but even in the last couple of years, suddenly Canada has become ultra cool. I mean, we were cool all along, but it has become ultra intriguing for a lot of people, and a lot of great things. And now having a label like yours to, help wave our flag has been absolutely exceptional. Plans for the future? I don't know how far in advance you're living, you're thinking, you're dreaming, in terms of how to market your label, where you'd like to ideally take it.
I think and everything, accessories, shoes, bags, lifestyle.
But the whole thing is, we're taking it as we can.
Yeah.
We want it has to be manageable for us.
Yeah.
So we're in no rush
Yes,
at
exactly.
all. We'll just
Baby
tackle
steps.
them as we're able. Yeah.
Well, I think that's something that you proved from the very start. I mean, you have had a certain kind of patience with your label. I mean, it's been over a decade now, but it's been solid. You do keep growing in such wondrous ways. Thank you so much, you guys. Love you to bits, and I just think your talent is overwhelming. Fabulous showmen. Kirk Bickerskill and Stephen Wong of Greta Constantine.